Hello everybody. Today we will spend some time to introduce the account system and also the basic information of commercial lighting SaaS. First, let's introduce the account system. Basically, we have several kinds of accounts. The first one is brand owner. You own your own brand and you can also open a lot of merchant accounts. And for example, you have some distributors or you have some installers and they also want to do some lighting project, and then you can open account for them, and you can allocate the number of projects, the number of device nodes to them for them to create their own project. And the merchant account is mainly used for example, like sub distributors. And after they were allocated with a specific number of project or a quantity of devices, then they can create a project. Of course, they can create as many projects as they want, and then the merchant account, they can also create three kinds of account. It's listed here, like project manager account, repairer account, and the user account. These three accounts, they cannot create a project. They can only have specific permissions in the project, and also the project that they are allocated by the merchant account. Let's take a look at the details of the permissions. For the brand owner, it has all the permissions, and for the merchant account, it's similar to the brand owner, but it cannot open more merchant. The merchant account, it can only be opened by the brand owner. And for the project manager, it can have a lot of permissions, but it cannot manage merchant account, of course. And also it cannot add or delete any project, because all the projects of the project manager, they are actually allocated by the merchant. For example, one sub-distributor wants to do like three projects. Then it opens the three projects. It can allocate all these three projects to one project manager, or it can assign any project to another project manager. And for the third level, like user account, it can only have some basic operation permissions. For example, like to control a single device, to control a group of device, or like to run like scenarios, or run schedules or automation. Of course, it can also check the system logs, like the system exception, alarm history, and also for another, like a repairer, we can also call this like a commissioning engineer, like a commissioning account. And it similar to the user account, it can not only have operation permissions, like for example, control a device, control a group. It can also have commissioning permissions, like adding devices, edit devices, or of course edit like groups, scenarios, etc. So of course you can you can check our users manual to see more details of this part. And next we will go to the lighting SaaS, and we will introduce some basic and also most commonly used functions in this SaaS software. This SaaS is based on web, and you can use basically any kind of web browser like Firefox, like a Safari, or like a Chrome. And I won't introduce any like a sign up procedure. Here we already have this account, then we can just log in. Okay. Actually, this account, the role is like a project manager, and we can see in the main page we have project management and member management. For the project management, you can see that this account, this project manager is already allocated with three projects. And of course, it cannot add any project, but it can edit the information. For example, the project name, like a responsible person, contact information, and also like a project location. Well, actually, this project location is quite important. You need to assign this project address quite precisely, because some functions, for example, like the QR code, or in this SaaS, it will need to use the location information. Okay, and on the homepage we can see some overview information like total devices, online, offline quantities, and also some, like the exception quantities in this project. And for the member management, we can add like a user account or a commissioning account. Here we can also edit their role. For example, we can choose it. We can set it like a user or repairer, and also we can add like a specific project or more than one project to this role. Okay, so let's go into one project. Okay, so I already made all the configurations here, but let's go over all the operations again. First, we will need to set an error. Like, what is an error? You can think this as the structure of your project. For example, you are doing a project for an industry park. Then you will need maybe the first level is this industrial park, and the second level is like a building. The third level is like a floor, and the fourth level is like a room. So basically, we have 4 levels of space structure or error structure that you can choose. Okay, and for every level of structure, you can upload their plan. For example, here I already added all the plans to every structure, and based on this, you can call like a floor plan, or based on this map, you can make some visualized operations. Okay, and for the device management, the most commonly used configuration is like device allocation and the device OTA. For the device allocation part, you can basically it's like you need to put the devices that you added that you added on the map based on their actual location. For example, here we already added all these like lights to this space. Of course, you can also like delete the devices from this space, and you can reallocate it again. By the way, before you make this configuration, you need to add the devices in this project. And if you want to add the devices, you can only add it by mobile app. And for the device OTA part, basically, from the background or from the cloud, we will publish like new firmwares for the devices, and you can actually receive this notification of upgrade on your mobile app and also on your SaaS. And when it's available, you can here select the devices and you can click upgrade. Then they will be upgraded. Okay, you can see like they are in upgrading. On the mobile app, you can only upgrade like the devices one by one, and on the SaaS, you can like select you can batch select a lot of devices and upgrade them at the same time. For the system configuration, actually this is similar to the configuration on the mobile app. Like a group configuration, you can create a group. Of course, first you need to select a structure or a space, and then you can create a group. In this space, you can select the devices that you want to add it to the group, and then click complete. Then they will be all added to this group. And for any group, you can you can regard this group as similar with like a single device. The only difference is like it can give you a permission to control all these devices in the group at the same time. And also like a scenario. A scenario means that you can for example create a scenario based on one device or based on groups. Then you can select groups that you already created, and then you can for example add like a trigger action. For example, you can change their on-off status. You can change their work mode, brightness, or other parameters or work status that this group of devices supports. And also, for example, the schedule. The schedule configuration is like you can add like schedules here, and for example, let's have is a test schedule, and every morning from like 8:30. Every morning 8:30, and on the weekdays they will be turned on. For example, like these group of these group of devices, they will be turned on. You can also set their actions. Of course, you can also add some special dates. Okay. So after you set this schedule, all the actions or the tasks, they will be executed based on the schedule. And automation, it means that you can add some like criteria or like a triggering event to trigger specific tasks. And also here you can choose like when all the conditions are met or when any of the conditions are met. and we can here add the conditions. For example, like sunset or sunrise, you can choose the you can choose the location. You can also choose like a device status change as a triggering event. For example, when the sensor sensor state is changed, like occupation to occupancy, and when it's sunrise, and when all the conditions are, or when any of the conditions are met, then here is like the triggering tasks. Of course, you can also trigger like scenarios. You can trigger to control one device, or trigger like a group of device. You can also add some delays, and like you can also trigger another automation. For example, you can when sunrise, you can turn on one light, and after a specific time, you can turn off the light. Okay. Of course, also for the advanced system configuration, the most of the times we need to configure this big data dashboard. Well, the dashboard will provide a standard dashboard. It's like this, and of course you can also change the color mode to dark or light, and actually you can also choose. You can also, for example, you can make it bigger or smaller, or you can put it anywhere you want, and also you can like add more data to this dashboard. You can also remove any data that is already here. So after you make the configuration, you can just click Save. Okay. And for the system operation logs, we provide operation logs, and it will record any kind of operation of any user, and also alarm history. You can select different errors, or select different types, and also you can filter them by the time of occurrence, and then you will have the alarm history. Also, like system exceptions, for example, like online, offline, or like some other kind of exceptions. And also you can create notifications. For example, we can see that you can notificate by like short messages or by mail, and then you will need to specify the mail or the short or the phone number, and then you will specify what kind of alarm types it will trigger this notification. Okay, and for the value-added applications, we provide several applicated value-added services, like error management or like maintenance. We will not introduce them here. For the device monitoring is where we operate the devices. But most of the times after we create a project, it will be operated automatically. We don't need to, because the idea of this lighting SaaS is to save the human labor to manage a project. Of course, we provide like manual operations. For example, here we can choose any of one device. We can turn them on, we can turn them off, and the status of the device, they will be changed automatically. Okay, of course we can also control a group of devices, and we can run scenarios that we already created, and that we can also check the device list. We can also check the the detailed information and the functions. And the one important thing is when you have some exceptions or when you have some fails, you will need to you will need one information like this device ID. So basically, sometimes when you meet some problem, and your provider or your service provider may ask you to provide the device ID, and you can access this information here. Of course, you can also get this information in the control panel of every device on your mobile app. And the data dashboard it's like we already configured the data dashboard in the configuration, and the data dashboard only provide us the configured dashboard, and we can go into full screen, and for example, we can have the device overview information. We can have the a power consumption information, for day or week or for months. We can also have information like exceptions or alarm informations. Okay, and the last part is the energy consumption. For the energy consumption, of course, you will need to add some devices to count how much energy you consumes. For example, here in the error configuration, we have several levels of error, and for example, if you add the power meter or electricity meter for example, in this level, then and you didn't add any device like a electricity meter device in this level, then the power consumption data for the upper level will be the summary of the sub errors. Of course, if you already have one electricity meter here, then only the power consumption data of this device on this level will be counted as the total power consumption for the whole park. Okay, so for the energy consumption data, like a dashboard, we can have the total energy consumption. We can also compare we can also compare by weekly or by monthly or even by year, and we can also choose different kind of chart or diagrams to have our information. We can also choose filter by different different time range. And sub-entry consumption is for example, you add you will need to configure them here, the device usage. Okay, so for example, you already add a device. You already add a power meter. If you already have a power meter, then you can choose the device usage. For example, this device is used as lighting or as an HVAC power consumption. Then here on the dashboard, it will show you, for example, by device type, like the power consumption of the lighting and socket, the power consumption by the HVAC, or by like other kind of device types. Of course, we also provide a very detailed power consumption configuration user manual. You can also check the user manual. Okay, for the regional power energy consumption, it means like not by like device types, but by the space areas. Like you can check the consumption data for the park, for the buildings, for the floors, or even for the offices. Okay, and here is like the power consumption report. We can select the power consumption, and then it will give you the it will give you the power consumption report. You don't need to like record the power consumption by Excel. Okay, so basically this is the basic and the most commonly used operation in our commercial lighting SaaS. And if you have more questions, especially for example for the like value added services, you can also refer to our future video demonstrations, or you can just check our user manuals. Of course, you are always welcome to consult our engineers. Okay, so that's all. Thank you.